This video I'm making because of a comment that we got on the last video,
Oh
and
yeah.
let's go ahead and look at this comment.
Okay.
This person says, "No way would I ever consider buying a GM product. My father worked for GM for 40 years and said the company was being run by dumb ASS bean counters. He said they designed a gas engine that got 100 miles per gallon and GM shelved it. My father designed the cold press forming machines that stamp out body panels for GM and has his name on many GM patents. My father's last car purchase before his death at age 83 was a Honda. That says it all. Not one of his children, including myself, drive GM vehicles, nor will we ever. When GM went bankrupt, my father lost 5 million in stocks. What a shit company." Oh my gosh, Dane, what do you think about this comment?
Wow.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wrenches in my top drawer. Hey, what's up, guys? This is MJ100K, and today we have to answer the question: what is better, GM or Honda? We got Dane on the line. How you doing, Dane?
Good, bud. Good to see you again.
All right, so we know that Dane is a GM guy, so we have to let him answer this question. We're gonna figure this out, Dane.
All right. Let's get to the bottom of it.
Who is better? Okay.
Okay.
It feels like the question is too vague.
Yeah.
So I looked up some data. We're going to talk about it now, but I noticed a lot of people on the internet in the comments, they have their favorite brand and you can't tell them anything about anything. You know, they just think their brand is better. But the thing is, things change over the years. So if you want to say who's better between GM and Honda, we'd have to narrow it down. Are we talking about within the last 20 years? Are we talking about within the last few years? Are we talking reliability? Let's look at what Consumer Reports says as far as the last 20 years. Every year, Consumer Reports ask its members about problems they've had with their vehicles in the previous 12 months. This year, we gathered data on over 300,000 vehicles from 2000 to 2023 model years, with a few early introduced 2024 model years. All right, so this is the last 23 years according to Consumer Reports. And yes, like we got Lexus, Toyota, Mini. I don't know
That's
how they got
surprising.
on there, but
Yeah, that's got to be a glitch.
that's a typo.
Yeah.
We got Acura, Honda, Subaru, Mazda, Porsche, BMW, Kia, Hyundai, and then Buick, and then Cadillac and Chevy at number 20. So that's over the last 23 years. But if we look at over the last 3 years, we might see something different. Let's bring that up. All right, so this is according to JD Power. This is over the last, all right, well, this is over the last 3 years. And again, we got Lexus and Toyota at the top, and then Buick and Chevy, and then Mini again.
What the heck's going on
And
with
then
me?
where's
That could be
Honda?
right.
Oh, Honda's all the way down here
Huh.
under GMC, or tied with GMC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the way back up here at the top, Buick and Chevy. So that's just showing you, like, these things, they change. What do you think, Dane?
Yeah, they do. There's always ebbs and flows. It's a very competitive market. What's impressive is that Toyota stays on top. You know, it's hard to become champion, right? Think of, like, you know boxing pretty well. It's harder to stay champion, right? Because everybody's
Yeah.
coming for you. So to see Lexus Toyota, which is the same company, on the top, that's very impressive for that long of a time. Chevy and Buick, they got to step it up. They went through a rough patch, in the mid 2000s and in the early teens there, and I think things have gotten better. Obviously, this is showing it's gotten better. Honda might have gotten complacent, but I don't think that means Honda's a bad vehicle or a bad car to buy. I wouldn't tell anyone to not buy a Honda. I think. Well, what do you think when someone just says what's better and they throw out two manufacturers? Like, what comes to mind? Like, what like two traits are you looking for as far as the better goes?
For me, I'm more of a used car buyer for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. I'm looking for mostly reliability,
Mm-hmm.
dependability, and safety.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are looking for, speed, cool factor with a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of reliability. It's just too big. It's too vague of a question to ask.
Yeah.
What's better? Like better how? Better when?
Right. And these companies do so much, So like for me, I'm always dependability, reliability, and then parts availability because I'm buying stuff used as well, and I'm usually going to be changing stuff. So what's available out there in the market for it? How and then ergonomics are as far as working on it. How hard is it to work on? How difficult may it be to work on? Um, and then there's categories inside of that, right? So I find a hard time putting Chevrolet against Honda because Honda is known so well for their like sedans and their cars. They don't have a truck. When I think Chevrolet, I mean, their SUVs and trucks are the number one thing that they sell. They make more
Yeah.
margins on that than their cars. Their cars are down. Where's my finger? Down here. Their cars suck. They've got the Corvette that's pretty awesome, but it's not that awesome. It's still an economy built sports car. Um, Camaro's decent, but everything else is just the most basic, bland, boring car. So Honda wins in that category all day long. When you talk about SUVs and trucks,
Well, Honda's
Chevy
boring too.
dominates. Yeah, but I like them a little. But I would say they're a little more reliable. For previous reasons we've said before.
Not
You know,
anymore.
maybe not anymore. Fuel economy is pretty damn good. They're pretty safe. Parts are cheap. You can get them anywhere. So resale value is pretty good on them. That's another thing that people might look at.
Yeah. I mean, Honda, like they don't make any pickup trucks. I do like the Honda Pilot, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't make like a giant SUV like an Escalade or a Sequoia. So yeah,
No.
it's kind of a weird comparison. I guess it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what your budget is. I know personally, I would um, I would try to get a GM now if I were buying a new car
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, I live in America and GM they make a lot of their cars in America, not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna root for GM. I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
wasn't like this before I moved to the Midwest, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, man, when you live in Michigan and you start seeing, I'll tell you a story. I was
Mm-hmm.
working at Pet Boys when I was in college in Michigan, and I was thinking, I was like, man, like 9 out of 10 cars I see is an American car. I was like,
Yeah.
this is wild to me.
Yeah.
Because in Philly, like it was like half and half. You might see 5 American cars or 5 Japanese cars
Yeah.
or European cars. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I said that to the mechanic I was working with. He was an older guy. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I noticed that too. That's terrible. I was like, what do you mean that's terrible? That's amazing. He's like, it used to be all American cars. You would barely ever even find a Japanese car in Michigan. And I thought that was wow. And that's how it was. So I just, you see so many people that they're living from the big three. So I'm not going to root against GM ever. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
try to get a US car first if I'm buying new.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't want Honda to go out of business either. I mean, they have a plant in Indiana.
Yeah.
They got Tesla
Yeah.
facility in California and in Ohio.
Yeah.
So what are you going
Yeah.
to do?
Yeah. Toyota's kind of the same. They have a lot of American roots as well. And Nissan, they got that plant in Tennessee. So
Yeah. I mean,
they're almost as American,
Toyota has the Tesla
Mhm.
facility in Michigan.
Mhm.
They got a plant in Kentucky.
Mhm.
They got one in Texas, and they got a lot of stuff in the U.S. So yeah, I mean, I wish more OEMs would make more cars in the U.S. and the ones that do, I'm a root for them. But
Mhm.
if you're looking at cars, I say just do your automotive nerd research. Try to figure out what the best car you could get for you. And if you're buying a used car anyway, I mean, are you really supporting GM or Honda or whoever? Like they sell new cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. If you're buying used cars, yeah, it's a little different. So if you got to buy a new GM car today, what are you going to buy?
If I was, and I've been thinking about getting one.
Yeah.
I like the Cadillac. I think it's the XT5.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I
Those
like
little.
that one.
Mhm.
If I was rich instead of just middle class or upper middle class, I would get the Cadillac Lyrique.
Okay.
I like
Hey,
that one. I saw that one at the car show.
yeah.
Even though I think plug-in hybrids are superior to electric cars,
Hmm.
I just like the way it looked.
Hey, nothing
I
wrong with
like the
that.
interior, and
Yeah,
I would
whatever.
get it as if I had like 10 cars, that would be one of them.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
If
and
that.
I like the Colorado.
Yeah, the Colorado Suite, but that's not a car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little truck, but I like that one. I like
Yeah.
that. I don't know why.
I was just thinking we should put a disclaimer in here too. So you guys that are gonna start typing about how Honda has a truck, it's awesome. No, they don't. They don't. It's not a
No,
truck. It's not a
that
truck.
Ridgeline is not like a
It's
truck. That's just
unibody. It's a front wheel drive with a rear, bias whenever the front end slips. It doesn't have a separate bed from its cab. I can go on and on and on. It's not a damn truck.
yeah.
Quit
Yeah,
crying
don't
about it.
try it.
Yeah,
But
no, no.
yeah. So yeah, that's the whole point. If you're gonna make a comment, I will criticize it. Dane believes that your dad retired with 4 million in stock. I didn't believe it at first, but Dane believes you. Anyway, thank you for your comment. I hope you don't mind that we kind of analyzed it a little, but look,
Mhm.
we've got to look at comments and we need to start thinking about the things that we say, not just be like, oh, this brand's better than this. Only time I'm really gonna say don't buy a car is if I think it's unsafe
Mhm.
or like those little tiny minis. I don't think
Yeah.
they're safe. I don't think the little tiny Toyotas, no little tiny cars. They're not safe, and that is a fact of physics. But we've gotten into that before, and we'll get into it again. But
How safe is that Fisker Ocean?
uh, I don't even know. I don't. I think that car needs to just go in the ocean.
Just dump them all in the ocean.
Dump
Just get
that thing
rid
in
of
the
them.
ocean, man. It don't work. It's
Make them a
terrible.
fish habitat.
All right. Well, that's what we got for you today. Thank you for tuning in and have a good one.
Yep. See you guys.